So the FM23 beta is out. It's out right now. And I've got a big question. It's not who the best team is, but it is. Is this man,
but that's how it is,
still an absolute beast? I know what I'm thinking, but let's find out. Welcome in, folks. Welcome in. Hope you're excited. We've had a little break, but we're back now. We're going straight in. Booming straight into player profiles. I'm going to start with big Erling Haaland today. The man, the myth, the legend. Let's have a look. Okay, so first up, we're going to have a little look at Haaland from FM23. And this is from day one in FM22. And his attributes are still ridiculous. Don't get me wrong. They are still ridiculous. As we look a bit closer, his finishing is 18, his first touch is 16, his determination is 20, acceleration and pace are up there at 17 and 19. Not forgetting his strength of 17. All this at 20 years old is absolutely ridiculous. It makes you wonder how FM can actually improve on that and make our lives that bit worse if he's not playing for us. I think they're going to try, don't you? The game's loaded up and my plan is to show you what Erling looks like now from the very start of FM23. And while we're waiting for that, don't forget we've got loads coming up on the channel. We've got the Sporting Lisbon playthrough. We've got a shed load of different stuff, so stick around. Bang, just like that, there is Erling Haaland's FM23 profile page from the start. Updated attributes, the works in beta. Whether they change between beta and full release, we'll see, but I think this will pretty much be it. Now, first glance, on the surface of it, you might not think there's a big change, but as we delve a little bit deeper, and I've got my notepad out here, I've made some notes, and there has been some pretty decent sized changes in there. First off, let's get the basics done. He's a year older, and rather randomly, down in the corner there, he's gone up an inch. I guess when you're that old, you can still grow, right? So he's 6'5", 88 kilograms. That is big time. That's a big old boy, trust me. Now let's have a deeper dive into the attributes. We'll start down the technical column. So as we go down the technical column, not a lot appears to have changed. He has gone up one in crossing. Maybe that's the Pep effect because he has supplied a few assists this season, hasn't he? A couple of crosses spring to mind to Foden. Now dribbling, finishing, first touch, these are all the same. In fact, the first thing that changes is his long shots. It goes up +1, up to 13 from 12. All the others in technical are the same, which I suppose is fair enough. Passing, you can argue that he has improved, but it's still early in his City career. So a couple of +1s here and there down the technical column. We've got mentals next, and there's some interesting ones here as well. But here's the big first one that's gone up. It's anticipation. That's gone up +2. Now, if I hover over anticipation, you can see this attribute reflects a player's ability to predict and react to events going on around them. And he is super lively, isn't he? Waiting for those little knockdowns. And what springs to mind there is the finishing from like 2-3 yards. He seems to predict where the ball's going to go, so that's a good bump. Now, the next big one is composure. That moves up +1, which in effect with finishing, you put them two together, composure and finishing, that means that when he gets these chances, 9 out of 10 times they're going to go in the back of the net. Now all the others down this column stay the same until you get to teamwork. That's gone up 1. So teamwork, maybe that's again the City philosophy coming in where everyone's got to work. That's gone up to 13. So a few little increases there, maybe not the massive ones you're expecting, but now we get to physicals. And remember, he's only 21. Last year he was 20. Let's see how it's been affected. Now he's already a beast at 20 with his acceleration and his pace, and they have stayed the same. But the big mover is agility. It's gone up +3, so he's getting slicker on his feet. If we hover over agility, you can see this attribute reflects how well a player can start, stop and move. Different directions and different pace. You think of him when he sets off on those blistering runs, that is a good bump up there. Balance has stayed the same, and the next big one is jumping reach. Again, that's gone up +3. Jumping reach and agility have moved the most, and being 6'5" and adding an 18 jumping reach to that, man, he's going to be a handful at crosses and corners. So when you see that, you've got to be rubbing your hands together to get a hold of him. On the flip side, if you come against him, it's a bit of a nightmare. But because it's beta, because City are my team, I'm sorry, I thought I'm going to do a season and I'm going to see what I can do with Big Erling. Let's have a look. So I just wrapped this season up and you can see Erling Haaland, top goal scorer with 75 goals. No, look, honestly. So yeah, he's going to be a handful for you. He bagged 44 in 38 in the league. If you have a little look further down, I'll move my head, we can see the breakdown of all the other matches. So he had a jolly little time in the friendly, scoring 15, but they don't count. So there you can see the 44 in 37 in the league. 17 in 9 in the various cup competitions. In Europe he scored 14 in 12. Didn't bag an international goal because Norway weren't at the World Cup. 58 matches, 75 goals. Decent. I've played him most of the season as an advanced forward. It's my favourite role for him, especially in the setup I was using. Occasionally when we were absolutely dominant, I did switch him up to a poacher, meaning there was less movement, but he was just in that box ready to finish. In some games, mostly away in Europe to the likes of Bayern, things like that, if we weren't getting much of the ball as we wanted, he was getting a bit isolated, I dropped him into a complete forward, which meant he did drop in a little bit more. But for 90% of the season, he was an advanced forward, and probably non-controversially, for me, if there's a better player in that role in this game this year, I'd like to see it. There we have it, crew. Probably the most unsurprising thing you're going to hear is Haaland is still ridiculous. Now stay tuned on the channel, loads coming like I said. There's going to be a few player profiles coming up, some less known than Haaland, and don't forget Sporting Lisbon will be starting very soon as well.